Welcome to Health Pod, your self-development hub
on mental health, psychology, and spirituality.
Do you believe in magic?
I do, definitely.
Have you seen it in your life?
Almost every day. As a kid, I was feeling that connection with the energy because every book that was in the house, it was about something magical. Even though I couldn't read it back then, I was actually feeling the presence, something that I always say about spells, like never involve anyone. Anyone. When you tune in with your intuition and you can become one with the universe and feel every little synchronicity. Every single moment has a reason. Everything that happens is for a reason.
Do you believe that every woman has the ability to be a witch? Welcome back to another episode of Health Pod. I'm Hélène. I'm an embodiment and empowerment coach. Today we have Nina from Mystical Nature, a shop that has crystals and lots of magical stuff that you can get your hands on. We are going to be talking about manifestation techniques, witchcraft, and crystals, and how to get your sex drive on. Now, let's dive straight into the episode. They see me rolling, they're hating,
Patrolling and trying to catch me riding dirty, trying to catch me riding dirty, trying to catch me riding dirty, trying to catch me riding dirty.
and the gangsters are back.
Straight from the hood.
Straight from the hood. Nina, my love, welcome to Health Pod. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here with your magical crystals. The energy of the room instantly changed as soon as we placed everything near us, and I cannot wait to dive in and talk about them.
Before we start, I would like to gift you
Thank
this.
you. That's so sweet of you. I was wondering what that was there.
It's a symbolic gift because
Thank
you need to open it to see why.
Okay, all right, let's
why
see.
I'm saying that. Because you also started a new journey, and the bee, the
it's
queen
a bee. It's
actually,
a queen bee. That's so symbolic. Thank you.
Yeah, so it's gonna
Thank
help you with your new journey and with your work, but as well as enjoying whatever you do.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna give you.
Oh.
Thank you. I really, really appreciate it, and I thought let's get into it. Thank you. You're welcome. And I love the bee. I love the bee. Oh.
It's your little talisman.
Yes. Having the support of the universe, the angels, the insects, the animals. All yes. Yes. Nina, the spiritual gangster.
Yeah.
As you're known. Just having you here today is magical in itself. I'm holding something in my hand, and I have no idea what it is. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Protection broom.
Protection broom. Where do you use it?
You place it on the front of your door, and it just clears out your aura from negative spirits, negative energy, everything that it's not supposed to be there, and clean your space, clean your aura.
Okay, so you just hang it by the outside of the door or near the front of the door?
No, it's near the door or on the door in the inside. And they also have a talisman on it. So the one that you're holding has a dragon, which symbolizing the power and the protection itself, like with the wings. And it has a specific crystal on it.
This one here?
It has two. It has the main one and the one underneath the dragon.
And what are these two?
Actually, they're both blue, and they are both for the throat chakra. So it's for the expression and to feel comfortable in expressing your feelings and being yourself. Yeah, which is very important to actually feel yourself in the space that you are and don't have to hold in whatever you feel.
Yes. And I personally love working with blue crystals or crystals that relate to the throat chakra. They've really helped me with unlocking my ability to be able to express and speak my truth So this is a great one
It
to have.
suits you, actually.
Yeah, I'll keep it. Thank you.
It's all right.
I'm going to dive into the crystal that drew me the most, which is,
Of course.
this one.
The rose quartz.
This is such a magical. When I see these kind of balls, it reminds me of fortune tellers. That's the symbolism that comes to mind. But what are they? You know, how can you use
It has nothing
this?
to do with
Okay.
fortune telling. I don't know why they symbolize it like this. But the actual shape of it, the sphere, it symbolizes harmony. So it's the flow that everything is like harmonized. That's why you might be pulled towards it. And the rose quartz itself, it's a crystal for love, understanding, patience, forgiveness, and everything that has to do with your emotions, your heart chakra, and how you perceive things in a much more harmonious and loving way.
So also bringing more compassion and love to yourself.
Exactly.
And your perspective of the world around you.
Is starting from the self-love. If you don't love yourself, meaning that no one can love you, and you cannot love others because you cannot love yourself as an individual.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And the energy of this is, yeah, I'm not going to keep this one as well. Don't worry.
No, I'm not going to leave you this one anyways.
So, Nina, what do you consider yourself?
Consider myself as an alchemist, but in my own way. I love to work with elements. I love to work with everything that is around me. I bring it into life. And I use the energy to create.
Do you work with specific energies? I mean, I know you work with crystals, but what else do you work with when you say elements?
You know, we have like 5 elements. So I work with fire, which is candles burning, and it's kind of like the fiery energy of manifestation. It's the water which cleanses everything. It clears your path. The air, which is the burning of sage, and how you feel the ether. Yeah, like
yes, yeah.
And the earth, which is my favorite. I love connecting to the earth because the earth itself holds so much energy for me, like the grounding, the feeling, the soil, everything, like everything grows from the earth. The trees, the plants, everything, it starts from the earth, and the same as crystals.
Where do crystals come from?
They are created by some atoms and molecules that are in the liquid of the air, of the plants, of the soil, and it hardens. Like it starts to become harder and harder in order to create this
consistency.
Yeah.
And how comes we have different kinds and different colors?
Because they grow in different places and with different, like some of them has from the sun, some of them grows in the water, some of them grows from the trees, like the amber that we were talking about earlier. Depends on the country, depends on the weather, depends on many different factors.
Magic. The magic in our lives. Do you believe in magic?
I do, definitely.
Have you seen it in your life?
Almost every day.
How does it appear for you?
When you tune in with your intuition and you can become one with the universe and feel every little synchronicity, the synchronicities that are guiding you, and you feel the support of what you're about to do, it's supported. Like you might see some numbers that are repeating, or for example, I've had it a lot of times when I was driving and the light, like I was in a hurry and the light was always red. And I felt that there is a reason for that. Every single moment has a reason. Everything that happens is for a reason. Like when you drop your keys, when you spill your coffee and you have to clean it, and you're late for some reason. And everything helps you understand. Like it's like even the thing that when you drop the salt and you like,
what does that mean?
that you're gonna have an argument.
Okay.
They say, but for me, it actually, like, I can see it happen, but it's like an argument with a person that actually it's a time for them to go. It's a time for them to close that chapter.
Yeah, to clear out the energy and clear out people that are no longer serving you in your life.
Yeah,
yes.
and it's a protecting thing. And I recently had the whole sugar dropping on me. Like,
sugar?
Yeah.
What does sugar mean? I've heard of salt.
I was wondering as well.
You looked into it, of course. Yes.
And it's like the sweetness coming to your life, the
Ooh.
people that will actually show you love. And I felt that love from everyone, like from friends to family. You can feel it with intensity. And yeah, it's really like sweetens everything.
So that happened before you felt the sweetness from the people around you?
The sugar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think that you attracted that because you had that perspective?
I didn't actually pay that much attention.
Okay.
It was in my subconscious though. But yeah.
Thank you so much for watching this episode. If you'd like to dive deeper into your own personal development and tap into your most authentic self, you can book a one-on-one session with me. You'll be able to find the details in the description here below. I look forward to chatting with you. What does spilling coffee mean? So what I've heard is that when you spill coffee, there's money coming your way.
For me, I meet people when I spill coffee.
You meet people?
Yeah.
What do you mean you meet people? You meet new people?
I meet new people.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was wondering, why is that? Why every time I spill the coffee, I meet someone new? And it's kind of like, I figured out that it's because like when you have conversations, you drink coffee.
Okay.
And it's like a social. Exactly. This is how it connects with me. And the same, it's like when your hand is itchy.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
See, so your body is actually communicating with you. Things are communicating with us. Okay, like the material, not that much, but some little things that you can get from your body, from the nature, from the weather, from the circumstances that are like you need to actually take the message in the correct way.
How did you become more aware in your life to receive these messages?
I don't know how to place that, but I didn't saddle myself with myself so much to think why these things are happening. It's kind of like something were telling me like, pay attention to that. Even though I was busy, like I didn't sit and meditate and try to discover why certain things happen the way they are.
Were you raised that way though?
No, I think it's like a mechanism at some point.
Okay.
It's a mechanism that when you unlock one pattern, it's like level unlocked. It's like the ability, your power is unlocked, and then everything goes much more easier. Like everything is automatically patterns, and you can see the patterns, and you are automatically pushed to resolve them. And I kind of have this mystery solving personality,
the detective in you.
Where I want to kind of put the things in order and understand why this happened that way, and if that happen again, then it will continue the cycle. Like it's cycles.
I've recently noticed that there's repetition in the year. So there are times and points in my life. So last year, February, if I look back, there were similar things going on as this new moon in February.
Okay.
Have you ever noticed that?
Not really. No.
I see these like reoccurring patterns, and I'm just wondering if other people are experiencing it. If anyone else is and listening.
I can see what you're saying. Like with the seasons, but it's kind of like maybe different. We all have our favorite seasons, right? Like,
yes.
I bet yours is summer.
It is.
Okay. Mine is winter.
Okay.
And in winter, like, I feel much more myself. I feel much more in power. Like, in winter, I love to put makeup. I like to dress up really, like, even though other people just want to lay in the couch and cuddle, I feel so much motivation.
Really?
Yeah. In summer, like, I'm so low. I'm tired. So maybe that actually creates what you have said. Like, the certain events is created because of our
psychology.
Yeah.
Our mood,
it.
our psychology, our own perception of the season as well. Yeah, I definitely find that in the summer, I'm much more myself. I'm more happy to go out. Whereas in the winter, I feel that I just go through an internal process of wanting to hide and go deep within. Not that I don't throughout, but Was
that through your whole life? Or it have changed? Like, you remember you as a child having the same perception?
I'm trying to think back to when I was a child. I think, the summer was always the highlight.
Okay.
The highlight for me. So I really did enjoy that season. There's a freedom. We didn't go to school. We would just not have so much of a routine.
Right.
So fun was very much associated with that.
Because I actually, like, lately I started enjoying summer.
Okay.
Even though before I was different with it. I preferred winter. Now I'm enjoying every season, and summer for some reason just give me that sense of freedom, as you said. Even though before I couldn't feel it. I'm kind of like the kid who loves Christmas and snow and the whole season parties.
Yes. Tell us a little bit about your upbringing, because I know you have an interesting mix there.
With my generation?
Yes.
Okay. My mom is from Ukraine. My grandfather used to be from Romania. And when the war started in Romania, he moved to Ukraine with his mother. And his mother was doing tarot cards. So the way that because she was on her own, her husband was in the war, she was growing her kids up just with the tarot reading. And people, like, really loved her, and she was guiding a lot of people. I haven't met her, never. But I had a really strong connection with my grandfather. So then my mother, she was traveling with, it's called like tabar.
Tabar?
Yes.
So what are tabar?
Tabar is the community that are traveling all together, and they have the dances as well. So my mom was dancing with, the skirt that is doing like this, like the
like the Spanish?
Yeah, it's very similar, but it also has the gypsy with the coins and everything.
Ah, yes, okay.
And she was, like, doing this for many years. She discovered then the ability to read the palm. So she was working with palmistry. Then she came to Cyprus, and then she was doing the same thing here. As a kid, I was feeling that connection with the energy because every book that was in the house, it was about something magical. Even though I couldn't read it back then, I was actually feeling the presence. It's not that my mom was doing rituals, but I could feel. I could see her being interested to crystals, and I was wanting to touch them, and I was wanting to wear them. I felt the energy from there, and I remember me as a kid when I was about 9. We were watching a show with some witches that were about to discover, like, in a certain place what happened, the incidents that was there, and how that person got lost and stuff. And there were witches that were coming with candles. There was a guy that was coming with a rat on it, and everyone, like, was working in their own way. And there was a shaman, a woman, that she opened a pouch full of crystals, and she could see what happened in that place from there. I'm like, Mom, I really want to be like her. Like, I want to have my pouch with my crystals and, like, touch them and feel what they have to tell me. And, like, it it's so stuck in my head that that moment when I said that, something flipped. And it's like, okay, now I know. And I'm like, Mom, I want to become a witch. And she's like, Nina, a witch is not always good. And I'm like, no, I want to heal everybody. Like, I want to just touch them and make them to stop suffering. That was my way. I could see me with a white dress, even though I'm a different kind of person. But inside of me, like, I always wanted to heal. I always wanted to work with the energy and not do harm to anyone.
Yes,
and it's very important in magic and in witchy practices. Something that I always say about spells, like, never involve anyone. You don't know who is protecting the other person. You don't know.
That's a good one.
Everything comes back. Everything. Like, you do a good thing and it will come back to you 3 times. You do a bad thing and it will come back to you 10 times. It's exchange of energies, karma. It's like mirroring. It's everything. And it's very important. Even like, I do sell spell candles, right?
Yeah, I was going to ask you about the spells
and
now.
I've got love spell candles. I'm always saying to everyone, the candle for love, it's for your self-love. It's for you also to love other people. It's not to make, for example, Kostakis to fall in love with me and come to my door and bang and like want me desperately. It's not how it works. You cannot force. Like, how would you feel if you knew that this Kostakis came because you forced him? Like, he loves you because... I don't know why Kostakis came into my head. Or Pambos or Panicos, whatever.
Yes, I get it.
You cannot feel loved when you know that you forced that person to love you.
Absolutely. How do you practice spells? I believe that our viewers would be interested in spells, in the concept of it, because being in a society that I personally feel isn't so open, but at the same time, they're very interested in it. There is a lot of misconception around spells. So how can we best use spells to maybe manifest more in our life?
First of all, your intuition is the most important key. Being connected with your higher self and feel the guidance of everything. When you're in tune with your intuition, you can feel what things you want to place and where, what you want to use in your spell. Like, if you want to use roses, if you want to use ashes, if you want to use knives, if you want, it's not something that is prescribed. You just feel it. There is nothing that I'm going to tell to one person, like, to do a spell for money, you need to place that coin there and a green. No.
Which is a lot of what we see on TikTok.
And it's very wrong. I disagree totally with it.
Why do you disagree with that?
Because you need to be, you need to do something that comes from within you, something that is connected with you. It has to have your energy.
So it needs to almost be personalized to connect to your intuition and have a clear intention as to who you are and what you're bringing to the spell that you're doing.
Yeah, because like, when you were a student and you were hearing things that your teacher is like, write this paragraph like this, didn't you want to do it yourself? Like, didn't you felt really automatic and like it's not yours when someone is telling you how to do it? But when it clicks on that you're going to gain money if you're going to do it, it's different. Like, it triggers something in the people that are actually seeing these kind of videos and stuff, and they wanna, even though it's something that it's not theirs, it's not, they do not feel it. Always use what you feel. I've used really weird stuff in my spells, in my manifestations. I have written things in very, very, very weird ways. For me, like, you need to connect with your guides. For me, like, it's the Nordic mythology. I feel connected with the Vikings. So with the runes, I kind of automatically, like, from within me, even though I haven't studied them, I feel them. It's kind of like from lifetimes, from something within me with the runes. And even though my roots are Ukrainian and Russian and Romanian, I've got something with the Scandinavian. And I use them a lot.
So no wonder you like the cold in the winter.
Maybe, kinda. Yeah. The sigils. to combine. I love this kind of thing, to combine different things together. Like, it's not like use this rune for protection and everyone is like automatically taking and writing this thing for protection and everywhere and they're protected. No.
What is a sigil for people that don't know?
Sigil. Okay. Sigil, you write what you write, what you want to have, but it's not like, it's like you already have it. Like, it's not like I want to have a farm in a year. It's like, I'm having a farm. I have my own farm. I own it. And then you delete some letters, vows and
reoccurring letters.
Yes. And then you combine and make your own symbol. So a sigil is a very nice example of how to create something yourself.
Yes.
You're gonna sit there and combine the letters and you're gonna do it as many times as you want until you have the symbol that is actually something that you feel
represents you.
Yeah. With the tools that you're using.
Okay.
So if you use the crystals, it doesn't mean like you're gonna get the crystal and it's gonna manifest everything in your life and change everything in a good way. It's the same with the sigil. Like when I say you cannot draw the protection rune and it's gonna protect you, you actually need to feel it. So it's like you're saying to me, like you're having a hammer and you're waiting for the hammer to build the house for you. You need to put effort. And crystals are the same. You need to work with them. You need to connect with them because like when you're gonna hold the hammer, you're connecting with the hammer. You're making like, you're kind of forcing the hammer, you're working with it. To build what you want to build. It's the same with the spiritual world. It's the same with the witchcraft. You are having just tools. Those are our tools. But you're creating something that is your personal. And it works in its own way and it has its own effects.
Do you believe that every woman has the ability to be a witch?
Yeah, I believe that, but not into the extent, because there are people or women that are not supposed to work with it. Why? Because they are abusing it.
Okay. So your intention as a person and where you come from, you know, allowing the light to be able to work with you and shine through you and come from a place of love and actual wanting to elevate and heal and inspire, I would say.
There are people who are just not supposed to work with that kind of things. They may not have it within them because they are not supposed to.
Yes. Yeah, that's a very interesting concept, because are we born with this? Is this something that we bring from past lives over with us?
Yes, it is.
You know, there's this. I find that I sense people that are very pure doing this work, and that they're also very dark and egocentric, that it works for them as opposed to the good of everybody. And you can really sense that in people. Yeah. If you're tuned into that.
Exactly. Like everything is about this tuning. I'm always saying, like, tune in, you need to feel. If you will not feel, like, continuously, like, something stops there.
Yes. Yeah. There is no flow to it. No.
You're asking me, like, what is magic for you? Or what is this? I kind of feel like it's not something that I can actually express in words, and that's why maybe it stops me from being detailed, and I'm kind of feeling that I'm saying such a little small amount, like 1% of what I actually feel inside of me. And
I so get that.
No.
I really get you in that sense, because there's so much more that you are experiencing, feeling, seeing, and when you try and put it into words, it's cannot. It loses its magic by trying to express it in words.
Exactly.
Right. So growing up in Cyprus, and your mom being a palm reader, your grandmother being a tarot card reader, and you in the world of crystals, astrology, and many other spiritual tools and things. Do you find that the community here has been open to this?
No.
Have you personally faced any attacks because of it?
Yeah, but I kind of like it at some point because like it makes me understand more about the people that they're not supposed to understand that. I don't have to prove anything. Like this is when you come to a certain point, you don't have to prove anything to anyone. And even if they're looking at you like, oh, she's a witch, she's doing spells and she's gonna curse a spell on us. And okay, if you fear it, you're such a believer in one way that you don't want to feel open.
It scares them essentially because
the moment I started feeling that the energy has such a big value, I understood where I have to put it. And I don't have to waste it into explaining why or making the other person feel and understand when it's not supposed to be that way. We have different paths. You don't have to understand everything. And it's a big lesson for me.
That's very valuable because we tend to want to be accepted by everyone.
No.
And when it's not perceived within the way that society expects of you, then you are trying to match what society is doing. But if you know who you are and if you know your path, you don't need to explain it to anyone. You don't need to say what you're doing, why you're doing it. And as long as you know that you're doing it in alignment with what is of highest good for yourself and for the people around you, you're coming from a place of love.
Yeah, because if you're actually going to do this to explain who you are and what you are, it's like you're repeating a pattern. You are repeating the patterns of your parents, your grandparents, where we're like, oh, don't go outside the window like this because the neighbor's gonna see you and they're gonna be like this, the fear of judgment.
Yes. You're bringing shame to it.
Exactly. It's like when my kids, sometimes they're like making fun, they're saying like, for example, I'm sure you're maybe doing that thing. It's like, oh, us, ha, 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 ha. And I'm like, all right, why is that something that funny or shame? Like you can see that even though
with
it's
body
a kid,
parts, whether
and
it's
I'm like,
boobs
do
or,
you say, is your ear ha ha ha, or is your nose ha ha ha? No. So somehow it's like, even though they might not have the influence of, because they're kids still, they don't have that much influence from the society. It's within them. It's generationally. The fear, it goes from generation to generation until you break the cycle.
Yes.
You might not need anyone to, like the school or the TV or anything. You are born with it. Because like when your mother was carrying you, she also had some fears. They are going from one person to another.
Until someone comes along and says, you know what, I'm actually going to do healing around this. I'm going to break the generational patterns that are coming up that I'm aware of. I'm able to bring awareness to it, you know.
Exactly. It's not the cutting, the hard part. The hard part is actually digging to find and see what is the pattern, what is the cycle I need to break.
Yes.
It's that the process of trying to find what is it and to cut it it's gonna be like this.
Yes.
It's really simple.
Yes. Yeah.
Because you realize that doesn't serve you anymore.
Yes. Yeah. It doesn't serve you anymore. Absolutely.
Boop, boop. Hey guys, thank you for watching. If you're enjoying this video, do not forget to hit the subscribe button. It would mean a lot to us.
So we're talking about body parts. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go.
I found
my body, the body part that I feel drawn to. So besides crystals, we've also got a crystal here that I have been wanting to speak to you about. I remember when you posted about it, and they made, people have their own opinions about whether it's crystals or, the shape specifically. And there is so much attack and shame around our body parts, right? Whether that's generationally.
I actually had a fight with a Muslim guy at that point, and it was really funny. It was a really strong experience.
Just gonna hold it in my hand.
It's okay.
It's a penis. It's a penis. In what crystal is it?
It's labradorite.
Labradorite. Okay, before we go to the argument around it, how do you use this?
Okay. So crystals, some of them has cracks. Even though you polish them, they do have cracks. The labradorite one that you're holding has cracks on it. So if you're going to use it internally, you might need to wear a condom. Okay,
so they are used for
pleasure.
It's not just
pleasure. They're used for healing. And they're used for altars.
Okay. You would place it on your altar for
fertility problems.
This would be specifically for men?
For men, yeah. For prostatitis problems, for not being able to being sexually active, and for women to attract
more
the masculine.
More cock in their life.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly what we were saying before, we were saying always pussy runs the rules
yes.
the world. It's not how it is. Lately I'm seeing these rules the world, because every woman that I'm having in my life surrounding me, I can see the collective, they are so drawn to the masculine because it's so lost. We came to a point where feminine are forced kind of to be in their masculine.
Yes.
And we are longing for the masculine. We want to feel the feminine, because it's when one place, when you're not feminine, you're not yourself, and everything switch and the energy again.
Yeah, you don't feel supported. You don't feel like you can relax. You don't go with the flow as much, right? If you're not in your element of being able to connect to that freer spirits, which is also your intuition, and that's where guidance comes in. Because if you're always in this go-go
you're closing all the portals
down.
of the communication with the higher self,
with the divine.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've got a lot of hate, a lot of comments of if you haven't read about it and you don't know what healing is, why would you post something like this? The hygiene of it. Even though many crystals are they're coming with a certificate of usage, all right? And there was a girl, she's it might create bacterials and stuff. And I'm all right, how about the silicone dildo that women use?
Yes.
How about the plastic that you are eating? How about your mascara? How about your shampoo? So why are you so intense on that exact thing? We are doing it everywhere, but there wasn't a reason to point on anything, because you can wear a condom on it.
Yeah.
But it's how you can say the healing properties from the moment that blah, 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 blah. And I'm
yes.
It's still, and it was from a young woman, and I was really
Do you explain to people like this, or do you just let them?
Sometimes I cannot hold myself.
The human kicks in.
Yeah. Oh. And I had really, by the way, many times people who come to my shop, they're oh my God, what is that? They're scared of it.
Scared of what?
Of the dicks.
You serious?
Yeah. I have women that are coming in and they're what is this? Why do you have this here? And I'm really, you came from that, actually. You will see that in your life. It's a part of your body. If I'm going to place a leg, will you be scared of the leg? It's not a monster. It's a part of us.
With
And it's again with the generation that we said earlier. Like it comes from our grandparents when they were wearing the skirt, the long skirt, not to show something. And the fear is the fear of not feeling yourself. And when you don't feel some parts of your body, you're still missing something. When you don't feel some parts of your inner self, you're still missing something. And the fear stops everything. And really, I feel this with the sexuality, it comes from generation to generation to generation, and everything is based on fear and shame. When, for me, if I will be able to walk totally naked, I will do it.
Me too.
I'm going to places and I'm just taking off my shoes and my socks and I'm walking barefoot in places that you are not supposed to, but I just feel it.
And again, who says supposed to or not, right? It's just a way of being that we've been conditioned to.
But the society now, like every time I'm going out, I'm impressed.
So there's 2 crystals that I've heard negative
there are
things
more,
about.
But
personally,
so
moldavite and nomite. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Something like this. Yeah.
Are they as bad as they're made out to be?
No, they are actually transforming your life. They're changing your life, and they're placing the fears that you have in front of you in order for you to deal with them and face them, and not to put everything under the rug, and being able to stand up and put the boundaries. And it's kind of like a speed up process of you accepting and deal with certain stuff. Like we are afraid of change. We're afraid of leaving the familiarity. And we should be more open to that. And this is what these crystals are doing. They're removing the illusion. They're revealing everything. And we don't always like that.
That sounds good.
Yeah, it is like
getting you out of your comfort zone.
Exactly. That
which is where growth is.
Yes.
Have you had any experiences with these crystals?
No, but I did it with other crystals.
Okay.
Like I kind of put my intention towards other crystals, and I combined the way of, I'm going to get the change, but I'm going to get it much more smoothly.
I was going to say that.
It's not that it's going to be slower. I'm going to perceive it much more smooth. Like, for example, this guy right here, which is my favorite.
Okay.
Labradorite. It assists you in periods of change.
So it assists you, but what would bring about more change? You would combine that with another crystal?
No, because you're kind of setting the intention. The Labradorite will remove, will show you the truth behind the illusions. So it also has this effect of, it's much more smooth, like you can feel the energy. Whether with the moldavite, because it's not an actual crystal from that earth, it came. The energy, like the frequencies, they're different.
Okay.
This one is much more smooth. It has similar effects, but it's smoother.
And where is best to place these in your house? In your bedroom? On your altar where you meditate?
We were saying before about the feng shui.
Yes.
You feel it. It speaks to you.
So you will intuitively choose where you want to place it in the house.
Exactly. There is no specific place for the crystals in general that you own, but like there are some pinpoints of clear quartz to the corners of the house, or tourmaline to the front door, or selenite, like the main that they are for protection and clearing the energy. The rest of them, they have a place, but not exactly. Like the rose quartz, which is for love, you can place it in your bedroom, near your bed, but you still might wanna hold it with you, or you might need more love in your office where you're working when there is too much hate, or you might need more love in the living room where you feel lonely. There is It depends.
Do you combine crystals in a specific way so they can assist each other? Can you do that?
It's again automatically for me. Like it comes
Intuitively?
Yes. I said automatically because like my hands are picking up things and putting without me actually making the thought of doing that.
Feeling into it. Into what needs to be where. Nina, it's been an absolute pleasure having you here today. We've spoken about so many things, so many juicy concepts that we are going to be sharing. And I just wanted to let our viewers know, where can they find you?
I'm located in Armenias Street, Nicosia Strovolos. It's a little shop that it's called Mystical Nature, and it's actually mystical. It's not that easy to find it. I mean, it's in a main road, but there are people who have been living there and they never saw me until the certain point when they needed to.
Amazing.
So yeah, it's like you need to find it. If you're gonna need it, you will find it.
But most of your things are also available online.
Yeah.
So you can order from your website. So that's great because we can all get them whether we are in Nicosia or not.
Yes. But thank you, like, really, for having me, for giving me that experience, for making me also like feel more feeling more easy to express, getting into that point of expressing myself and of releasing some other fears.
Wonderful. Thank you for being here.
Thank you as well.
Thank you so much for watching this episode. It's been an absolute pleasure filming it for you guys. If you like the work that we are putting out into the world, please make sure you like this video and you subscribe to our channel. It really helps the work that we do.
And if you would like to follow our journey on our IG account, as well as learn more about our services, we provide everything for you in the description below. Thanks for watching.